I think TMIG is a great event. It allows us to bring together both sides from sales and marketing and various other disciplines to have an open dialogue, and from different businesses and different segments. So it really is a coming together of different agendas, different minds and different thinking. And I think sharing that and understanding that from both sides is a very valuable thing to do.
We've just had a great event today, and I think one of the things that we talked a lot about was different sectors and how you need a different approach depending on which sector you're in. I think what TMIG is all about is about focusing on the specific needs and necessities of the technology sector and make things relevant. So you had a conversation, a debate of things that were relevant to everybody in that audience, which you don't often find when you go to conferences.
I think TMIG is a fantastic opportunity for people to kind of get away from their day-to-day jobs, as it were, and think about the broader things they don't get to do. So I think really the biggest value is in knowledge sharing. It's not so much listening to the presentations, it's hearing the questions, hearing the comments, having a debate and a discussion, some of which are formal within the session and some which are more informal after the session. So I think it's that kind of knowledge sharing which is so useful.
Well, it provides a really good opportunity to network with people in the marketing industry, but also particularly technology. I'm quite new to the sector, so it just helps me hear from experts and meet new people, establish some contacts, business development as well.
I probably need to talk more with my marketing team and trust them more to provide the insight I need to target my customers.
For me, the takeaways were very much around understanding that my sales colleague has very similar challenges to I have, and actually, despite the person organising trying to get us to actually fight and brawl on stage, in reality we had so many things in common. We had a different view on the challenges that we face about open communication, around priorities, around trusting each other, which is something that I think perhaps you wouldn't naturally have assumed between sales and marketing colleagues.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing for me actually is that most marketing people that I work with are so focused on customer engagement, and they have goals around engagement, around time on websites, around number of hits, etc., and all those sorts of things. I think sometimes we're too far removed from actually having goals which are more around putting people into the sales funnel, lead quality rather than necessarily quantity, and really having the discussion today about what makes a good lead, a good qualified lead, what do salespeople really need, I think was quite an eye-opener. It made me think a little bit differently about the objectives we set for our campaigns.
Really getting an insight into people who've worked in the industry, and particularly big brands like Fujitsu, how they do things. Sort of one of the questions I did ask was like for some tips, so you get some really helpful, insider knowledge. Another takeaway would be that you can just come here and learn, really.